Welcome to my no bullshit longsword guide from Monster Hunter Wilds. The longsword is the most popular weapon in the Monster Hunter series for a reason. It's fast and flashy, has insane counters to let you play extremely aggressive, and you cut tails like butter. This weapon is for you if you love covering monsters in thousands of cuts while dodging all of their attacks because the power of God and anime is on your side. The downside, you have to constantly manage your spirit gauge bar, and while it's easy to learn, the skill ceiling is incredibly high. Oh, and your teammates, they will hate you. It's their own fault for not having flinch resist, right? Now, let's dive straight in with our core moves and combos. Our basic triangle or Y combo hits 3 times and is repeatable. It's a double overhead slash followed by a crescent slash from the side. When we press circle or B, we will perform our quick thrust forward. This one is extremely useful because it combos into other abilities which I will cover later. Pressing circle or B again performs the fast rising slash. When pressing triangle and circle or Y and B together, we will perform a fade slash, which covers a wide horizontal area in front of you and makes your character take a step back. If you combo it after other attacks, you can use your directional input to step to the sides instead. You can combo these hits together for infinite attack chains. In the top left corner, just below your sharpness indicator, you will find a thin long sword. It fills up with each of your basic hits. This is the spirit gauge bar, the main mechanic of the longsword. When it's filled, it allows us to perform multiple spirit actions, which I will cover in a bit. The basic one though is the spirit blade combo by pressing R2. It is a strong 4-hit combo which consumes the bar and ends in a spirit round slash. If that connects, your spirit gauge will level up. There are 4 levels. Your base level, level 1 which has a white border, level 2 with a yellow one, and level 3 has a red border. The higher your level, the more damage your attacks do. And at level 3 your triangle or Y attacks become empowered crimson slashes, which hit multiple times. When you reach level 3 you will start with a full gauge, and pressing R2 doesn't consume the bar anymore. Also, level 3 extends your spirit combo by 1. You can press R2 once more after the spirit round slash to attack with a spinning crimson slash, which deals a lot of damage. Each gauge will slowly expire if you don't keep leveling them up. Your basic attacks can also be comboed with your spirit blade attacks, as long as you have enough spirit. This makes the gameplay extremely fluid. When you jump off a ledge, you can either press triangle or Y for a normal jump attack, or if you have spirit, you can press R2 for a spirit blade attack. Alright, now that we covered the basics, let's go into more advanced stuff. First, let's take a look at all the special spirit actions we can perform. If we hold R2 after an attack, we will perform the spirit charge. Your character circles the longsword in front of them and your gauge is filling up. Depending on how long you charge it up, it will either do a spirit slash attack, or if it's fully charged, a spirit round slash, which increases your gauge level by 1. By pressing R2 and triangle Y, we will do a spirit thrust. If you're at least at white gauge, you will follow up with a jump in the air. Press triangle or Y again and you will perform the most iconic longsword attack, the Helm Breaker. It hits the monster multiple times and consumes a full level of your spirit gauge. You can also reposition yourself mid-air with your directional inputs. At red gauge, you can press R2 once more to perform the extreme cool looking spirit release slash. Our character spins around, gets hyper armor, and a whirling tornado of cuts hits the monster. But this consumes another level of your gauge. If you think your Helmbreaker will miss, you can also press X or A during the jump to cancel the attack and not waste a level. Ideally, we want to use our Helmbreaker combo at level 3 for maximum damage. Now for our next special attack, the Foresight Slash. This is our most reliable counter. It can only be used after another attack, and you need at least a tiny bit of spirit stored up. Press R2 and circle or B after an attack and your character will do an evasive maneuver and counter with an upward slash afterwards. This attack depletes your full spirit gauge, no matter if you're at 1% or 100. But if you time it correctly, you won't take any damage. And if you manage to connect your follow-up hit after a perfect await, you will instantly fill up your gauge. You can then press R2 again to perform a spirit round slash, which increases your gauge level by 1. The fastest way to perform the Foresight Slash is after a thrust or an upward slash attack. If you are at red gauge, the Foresight Slash becomes a Foresight Whirl Slash, which looks flashier and does more damage. It also does not deplete your gauge fully. Our third R2 combo move is the Special Sheath. After an attack, we can press R2 and X or A to perform it. Your character sheaths the weapon in a true samurai fashion and is waiting for another input for 3.5 seconds. While holding L2, you can also turn in any direction you want. From here on, we have 2 options. Either we press triangle or Y for an EI slash, or we press R2 for a spirit EI slash. Hitting at least one of the 2 hits of your normal EI slash will make your spirit gauge fill up slowly over time. The spirit EI slash is our second counter attack. If you time it correctly, we will avoid damage, hit the monster and level up our gauge by 1. The timing can be hard though, so you will need to practice a bit. Now let's talk about the new mechanic in Monster Hunter Wilds, the focus mode. When you hold L2 and press R1 to hit a wound, you will perform the focus strike unbound thrust. First, you stab the wound and then you will follow up with a slash that can be directed with your movement input. After a small delay, you will pop all the wounds that you hit. And here's the best part. For each popped wound, your gauge will level up by 1. After that, you can press R2 2 more times to combo into a spirit round slash for another level up. Make sure to use that as often as possible to level up your gauge fast. Alright, we know how to attack and defend. Now, how do we apply this in a real hunt? Here are some tips. Our general playstyle is pretty much pump and dump. Get red gauge, use the handbreaker combo and repeat. But if the monster is moving a lot, you can just keep attacking with your red gauge until you find an opening. A strong combo is pressing triangle or Y and then R2. You can combo it infinitely for many quick hits. Then when you see an opening, send the handbreaker. Thanks to our 2 counter attacks, we can and should stay aggressive all the time. That's where the high skill ceiling comes from. You need to understand the monster's moveset to get the most out of the longsword. But once you get the hang out of it, you will feel pretty much invincible. If you have no spirit gauge but you want to do a foresight slash, there's a little trick. We can use the spirit charge by holding R2 to get a tiny amount of spirit and then instantly press circle or B to do the foresight slash. Also, if you are already at red gauge and the monster has wounds, dump your gauge into a handbreaker combo first, before you pop the wounds. This way we can do multiple handbreaker combos after another. Got questions? Drop a comment or ask me live on twitch.tv/NinoMMO. If this video helped, hit that subscribe button and consider supporting me directly on Patreon. It really helps me keep making these no bullshit guides. Want to know the best longsword armor skills? Check out this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.